I think that was really awesome, and it's going to be time for us to basically we'd be asking questions at the end, but I think we have a little time to squeeze in for one or two questions right now,
Sure.
and then we'll move ahead. Okay? So we want to know a few challenges that you faced while dealing, while entering into this ecosystem.
Challenges are the default challenges, I think, which every entrepreneur, whether a male or female, faces. Nobody will believe in your idea. And especially if you're in the social impact space, people will wait. When will your revenue come? When will this actually crack? When will you get back what you're investing? Why have you done masters in United States and coming back and not making enough money? And why are you going on the grassroots levels and struggling so much? So these are the very basic things, I think, but without people saying this, I wouldn't have got here. So every single person who questioned me, who didn't believe in me, or who doubted me, has been my greatest inspiration, because people who supported me were always there with me. But given my critiques were my greatest growth factors, I think everyone faces this, and it's important to self-discover yourself and give enough time for yourself to travel, to volunteer, to meet more and more people, to explore more and more stories around yourself, so that you're aware of yourself and you're happy with yourself and you don't look for anything outside you. And when you reach that point, I don't think any challenge will look like a challenge.
That is so wonderful. Thank you so much for it. You've always said that your husband has been a great support to you. Where else do you find your support from, apart from that?
Okay. So we are not together anymore. I'm sorry to inform you like this, but we both are very
I'm
happy.
sorry for that.
We are very happy that we have taken our own paths, and we are proud of what we both are doing. But yes, definitely, he's been a great friend and he's been a great support system. But now he's got his own dreams to follow, and I wish him all the best. But apart from that, Mohanam and my complete alumni network of my masters, my father, and every single person whom I meet, or I've done 35 stories till now of women, and I think every woman I meet is terrific. I cannot say that this story was more impactful, or because every story has its own unique learning, and I'm addicted to finding these stories, and I live by these stories. So the support comes from
Has there been
everything
someone?
around me.
That's so wonderful. So, is there a unique story of one particular person that you would like to share that you find will inspire all of us?
So that's a very tough question.
I know.
Okay.
But you will have some favorite ones. All teachers have a favorite teacher, student, but they'll always say, I look at everyone equally. Maybe there's someone who is your favorite among them.
So this really brings me down to, especially because of the platform we're talking today, I really want to share this. And I think my favorite person in the world, her name is Mrs. Mukta Sharma. She's the principal of kindergarten of Delhi Public School, Bhopal. I'm a DPS alumni. I studied in Bhopal for 8 years, and I started writing in my 5th class. And she actually, and as impact scientist today, I'm creating content. And in my 5th class is when I wrote my first poem. And my first poem was for her, about her. I didn't write about my parents or anybody. It was about my teacher, my English teacher, who's now the principal. So I think that day she took my poetry and she said, read it out loud to the class. And everyone clapped and she had tears. So, and since then till now, she's in touch with me. She follows me on LinkedIn. So I think whoever I become in my life, it all comes down to what ma'am will think of me, or will she feel proud of me or not? Will she give me as an example to the students whom she's talking to or not? So I'm really holding the responsibility of making my teachers happy, or because I had a great relationship with my teachers, because I was in hostel most of the times and away from my parents. So my teachers were my everything. So whenever I do something, I always think of my teachers as my everything. So my greatest inspiration is my teachers.
That was so wonderful, madam. And I'm sure you've read the comment section over here. There's a comment that has come from Rachna Joshi, madam, which says, "Your inner beauty reflects in your work, ma'am." Right? So, can you tell us a little about inner beauty and how we all can actually get inner beauty?
I didn't know the difference between, I think my father always taught me to identify beauty without body. So I knew I loved my grandma because of the way she hosts at least 20-25 people. I used to take my seniors and juniors and everybody home without even intimating her that I'm taking them home. And she used to cook for them in 45 minutes and so happily host them. So, like these kind of things, they humbled me. I came to Auroville. I'm living in a bamboo hut. It's a house made of keith and bamboo. I have chickens, hens, goats. I live in a cow farm. And, walk barefoot in Auroville, like at least when I'm around home. There are so many trees and animals around me. And we have a community, so we share so many things. And, three of our neighbors together, we have one fridge because we want to save the environment. And for example, so these kind of things kind of humble me down. I was a very like difficult person before, I would say, but as I keep meeting more and more people, and every story that I hear from people, it changes me and it makes me feel like I should be more accepting to be able to grow. I should be more understanding to be able to give. So these kind of things maybe internally change a lot of things for a person when you and especially moving from one place to another, from Bhopal to San Francisco to Sri Lanka to Andhra to Hyderabad and now to Auroville. It's I have to let go of one place, a set of people always with whom I create a very deep bond, and then I move on to another place and then start from scratch and creating all the things again. So this whole churn is doing a lot of wonders for me as a person.
That's so wonderful. I'll just give you the last question. And basically, I'm not skeptical whatsoever. But most people would ask, what is someone like you who's been through, who has seen almost half the world and all the glitter of the world doing in this rural environment? Yes,
Environment.
no, basically, it is a it ended at rural environment. Basically, I'd like to say is when there, I'm not skeptical, but there are many people who would say a person who's been through everything in the world and has seen all the glitter of the world, what are they doing in a rural environment?
Every glitter, every luxury, I think all the beauty in the world is residing in Indian villages. The air quality, the food people make, the way people host, the products that are being created and manufactured at the village level, the traditions that we have, the heritage from the history. I think every village is like a country of itself, like where they have their own traditions and they are able to withhold those traditions, right? Like us, like if I'm going to Hyderabad, I'm probably like a different person, or if I'm in San Francisco, I was a different person. But now living in a village, I know the value of kolam, I know the value of festivals. So I'm not overlooking those things, but I'm able to dive deep and understand why these things were there, what is the mythology behind it, what were the stories created with it, and how we can take it forward, because we are still learning British history. Where is the Indian history? Where are we? Like, we have to I think villages. I want everyone to move to a village. I want everybody to experience villages. And I invite everyone to Auroville to experience this, so that you can go back and take the same energy to your villages and feel the same from your villages too.
Oh, thank you so
Thank you.
much. That was so wonderful. I think you need a big clap for that, and I'm sure everyone has enjoyed it. And let me tell you something that I'm sure you already know it, that educators are always very particular about their breakfast. That is one thing I never skip, right? I- and that's 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is my breakfast time. Great, how wonderful! And
Super.
and I think you're, yeah, and I think you were my favorite because you spoke so much about food. I'm a foodie, by the way. So thank you so much. Right, but we had a very engaging session, and I'm sure there are lots of questions. I'll open it to everyone to talk about questions. And before I mean, you can write down the questions. You can turn your. I think Vatsala wants to speak. Right. Sorry. So you can go ahead, please. Unmute yourself.
Um, Lovely session, Kana. This is Vatsala Singh. I hope you can hear me. Am I audible and clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
Thank you. Thank you
so,
so much for joining. Yeah.
One more thing that I would like you to add in um, that word box that you had, gratitude.
Spice.
You know, gratitude also is something very, very important that all of us have to understand. Gratitude for all we have around us, you know, all the possibilities, all the opportunities, all the people around us, because last 18 months, I think so, has made us realize how important what we have. What we don't have doesn't matter at all now. What all we have, to be grateful, to respect that. And I think so, my own observation, and I'm working in a place which is a very small place in Madhya Pradesh. So I know that now no one is stuck up in any legacy. Last 18 months, everyone, any geographical location, everyone is,
Madam, can I interrupt you for just a microsecond? I'll request Kanakji to please, if you can, uh, if the slide can be removed, is that okay?
Absolutely. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
notice.
thank you
Yeah,
so much.
I
Yeah,
was
that's not
just.
wonderful.
so I just wanted to say that, everyone has moved on and we've all become, I mean, we as educators, we are always lifelong learners. But the
Yes.
dynamic transformation that has taken place in the last 18 months, educators and students have been the most transformed, so and ready to take on. I myself, I remember, it's a small place. For getting a resource person over here early was very difficult and expensive. And if the
Right.
management used to suggest that have online sessions, I used to say no. You cannot have anything without the human touch. I want people here physically interacting with everyone. And now we have, and we did not have the technology, but we did get everything. Everything was arranged. We did not say no when the things just fell on all of us. So I
Yeah.
think need is the mother of all invention, is as we say, that when it comes to us, and educators always stand up to the occasion. But your session was really brilliant. And like Sir said, these little things matter a lot. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of the others. So beginning with breakfast is just not just that food intake. There are lots of things that go along with it that you mentioned.
Sure.
Brilliant for understanding and observing these minute things, how they matter. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to attend your session.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and yeah, absolutely kudos to you for being in a small place and ensuring that anything can stop, but learning doesn't stop, right? So it's brilliant what you're doing. So hats off to you, and thank you for what you do. Thank you so much for attending my session.
Wonderful. All right, thank you. So I think there are all more questions coming in, but I'll use it as a privilege. Can I just post one question, and that is, uh, you are into theater too, right? So how important is it for a teacher to be an actor, even a principal? That's okay.
So I used to be in theater, and this is a joke that's there in the family. So I founded theatrician when I was still in school, and I ran it along with my then colleague and later wife, now wife. And she chucked me out of theatrician in 2015, saying that you've become an educator and you don't give time to theatrician. So yeah, so now she's the one who's running it. But it's very important for Connect. I think theater is something that uh, brings us closer. It gives us so many skills, right? It gives us skills of time management, performance, backstage is completely a project management, and it gives you an understanding of as to seeing the world through someone's eyes and presenting it to someone else as well. And as teachers, for us it's important to understand that you want to show the child where the child can be and realize their utmost potential, and it's important for us to do that. So with performance comes relatability. With relatability, essentially you are able to give the child not just dream is still a smaller word, aim, that this is what I want to do, this is where I can reach, and you help them reach that. So yes, I believe performance is very important. And I think somewhere all of us have been actors as teachers, so I think it helps a lot.
Yeah, I think teachers do a lot of acting in class. That's true, right? You spoke about breakfast. What would you what would you suggest should be the best tiffin for a child?
So I think, there've been so many back and forths about it, and there's been some substantial research done that the child's tiffin box should be of healthy food and should not be of oily and fried food, etc. I believe that make it interesting. So I'll tell you as to what we tell our parents is that if you're giving your child a sandwich, use the carrots and peas and make a smiley face out of it. Most importantly, put a note on your child's tiffin box as to about their day and wish them good luck and tell them that you love them. It's important to do that because those are the messages that the children would read and they would remember that yes, my parents have sent me that thing. So more than the content of the tiffin box, make it interesting for the child so that they come back and then they talk about it. Hey dad, you know what, the sandwich today was very tasty, but the smiley face became a frown because my English test did not go well, or something like that. That becomes something in the household.
Right. So thank you for that. And what is your take on the college or school canteen?
So we run a lot of schools that have canteens. We run also schools that do not have canteens. It's important to ensure that hygiene, safety, quality is maintained. Most importantly, because most people, I've seen a lot of schools flout a lot of the FSSAI norms, and you don't want to get there where you have problems with some children. With the school canteens, we've ensured that there is a good mix of interesting food. I don't say healthy food. Healthy food becomes very expensive. If I order a salad, it's good, but if I say that I want a healthy salad with everything, it suddenly becomes very expensive. So there has to be interesting food, and there has to be a good option where the child can once in a while indulge as well. So it has to be a good mix with that. I'm not a very big fan of going overboard with bread pakoras and samosas in the school canteen. I feel that's setting the wrong idea and expectation. Then it becomes an us versus them philosophy. When the parent talks about in the household about eating healthy and fresh, and the child is like, "Nahi, but school mein to samosa khate hain, and let me just eat the school canteen ka samosa." Like, let's not do that, because us as educators and parents are true partners. Let's appreciate each other and work collaboratively. I think that's the whole thing. So that works in the canteen and the tiffin box as well.
So that's so wonderful. And before we wrap it up, I think I'm doing a rapid fire with you. I'm sorry about that.
Not at all.
Yeah. So my question basically is, how much social time can we give a child? And what exactly would you call social time?
So when you say social time, you mean interaction with friends using technology?
I'm talking about interval, games. Okay. So that's basically the social time, which is non-academic.
So I think it's on the phases of the child. I think if you look at it at the education levels in our country, I would say till about grade 6, give all the social skills to the children and make sure that they develop a lot more on the basic academic skills as well. Don't push them. I'm not a very big fan of enroll your child in class 1 in an IIT coaching and things like that. That just, it surprises the living daylights out of me. But I do believe that for every 2 hours of academics, you should give the child 2 hours of social time as well. mix that with outdoor, mix that with physical activities. Have GST in your child's life, right? Like have a good screen time in your child's life. Do not have abundant screen time. It's, I know it's very difficult, and it's easier to just put the child in front of a laptop screen or an iPad or a television so that they can bide their time. But as it's important to have them go outdoors and indulge in physical activities. There's another thing, that bothers me a lot. Like, we throw the baby out with the bath water when we say that, social media is bad, or any kind of gaming is bad, online learning is a question mark, etc. A lot of people say that, and it's not all bad. We need to educate the children how to use it better, how to use social media better, how to use gaming better, because that opens up the mind as well. So safe usage and better usage is something. Concentrate on outdoor activities, concentrate on GST, good screen time, and if you have, I would like to believe, like an equal mix of academics as well as social time.
Great. So thank you so much for this wonderful session that we've had. I'm sure there's been a lot of takeaways. Everyone is very positive about it, and we being educators and all over here are mostly educators. I think you've thrown light on some very, very important issues. So thank you very much for being with us, and once again thank you all our participants. Thank you so much, and we'll meet once again tomorrow at 5 o'clock for another enlightening session with new speakers, and I'm sure everyone is going to enjoy themselves. This is Charles Clarence over here signing off for you. Thank you. God bless you all. Great. Thank you, Kanak, for being with us.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.